Hi, I'm Jennifer Comet Wagner, and I write a blog for parents of teens and other adults that deal with teens about keeping up to date with pop culture, technology, and education. And I recently put together a book about the benefits of video games, and it turns out that the biggest chapter of the book was the educational benefits. I hope there's not going to be too much overlap between the talk you heard 2 times ago with Gerard, but I think we're focusing somewhat on different things. Okay. The main part of the talk is really going to be about the reasons that video games are so useful in education and why schools might want to think about incorporating them. Okay. Leveling up. This is something very big with gamers. If you're a gamer, you know everything about it. If not, what this means is that most video games consist of many levels. And when you master one level, you're able to move up to the next level. So this really works well in many ways. I mean, first of all, it completely lessens the need for tests at school, because since you don't move up another level till you really have mastered the level before, it's almost like you're passing or acing each level before you move up. So it's a great way, the leveling up is a great way to reward incremental goal progress for students. Classes now are designed to keep the lowest common denominator engaged, and everyone's tested at the same time after the same amount of work. By using games, players progress at their own pace, and they can fail in a safe environment. Traditionally, students, when they study for a test, the goal is just to pass the test, not necessarily to understand the concepts. Tests drive the system, and teachers teach to the test. With video games, students solve problems with what they need and what they know, and they don't just learn the facts. Okay. Decision making. This is something that is done constantly in video games. So most of the educational value of video games actually is not based so much on the content of the game, but on the way they are played. It's not what you're thinking about when you're playing a game, it's the way you're thinking that matters. Games force you to decide, to choose, to prioritize. I know multitasking has a bad reputation, but players do really learn to become expert multitaskers. Many games are very complex with hundreds of commands and variables, and this cultivates critical thinking. Video puzzle games that exercise students' memories can enhance their abstract reasoning and problem-solving skills, which can have a direct impact on their future schooling and work. And studies have also shown that video games can improve players' visual attention and certain cognitive skills. A lot of this is because images do aid in memory. Okay, risk-taking. I hope that's not too light for you to see it, but risk-taking is encouraged in games because, at the worst, you just start all over again. This is unlike in school, where after you don't do well on a test or fail a test, the class just moves on, and you don't want to take risks because, you know, they're not rewarded in regular school. Video games create opportunities for learners to fail productively. They learn by using the process of trial and error. Teachers know that clear goals and immediate feedback provide the best learning experience, and that is exactly what video games do. Okay, collaboration. Okay. Many games require collaboration, especially the big, massively multiplayer online role-playing games. And so members of the team have to work together and each contribute their skills and expertise. This is great training for future job success, where collaboration is more the norm. Very often, leadership skills also come out of playing these type of games because people emerge as leaders in the groups. Okay. Simulations. Many video games are actually simulations of things that you could do in real life, but very often students don't have access to being able to do. This is really a form of learning from experience. Players are given well-designed experiences, and they can learn how things really would be in the real world. Video games intermix instruction and demonstration, as opposed to in the regular classroom where it's mostly just the instruction. Okay. Video games are fun. Because they're fun, they have the potential to capture the interest of students and teach them physics, math, and all the other difficult subjects that many of them do not like to sit through. It also offers students the opportunity to be creative and try to apply creative skills and have fun at the same time. It's a great way to integrate tech and goal-oriented learning because of their longer attention span. When people begin playing video games, they learn a new literacy. They are learning a new interactive language that grants them access to virtual worlds that are filled with intrigue, engagement, and meaningful challenges. Language is taught through experience. The real world requires higher order thinking than being able to answer questions on a test. There is a growing emphasis on education on 21st century skills such as communications. Okay. Two other reasons why video games are good in education is because educational games are often multidisciplinary. That means many subjects or a few subjects can all be learned through one game. And really, in the real world, very often things that you do don't come down to just one school subject. And the other benefit is that the games really challenge players and motivate them to learn. Okay. Learning through video game creation. By having students create video games is really one of the best ways that they could learn not only about video games, but about the structure and about the content, the schoolwork content. Game creation is a learning tool that's really just a digital take on the old learning by doing approach. Students pick up concepts easier and retain more information when they are hands-on with the subject matter. This is also a great way to get girls interested in game design, a career path they may not have thought about, and right now is a very lucrative one. Okay, these are examples of some very good educational games. Vanished is designed for middle school students, and it requires players to discover what caused a future hypothetical catastrophe that destroyed all of civilization's historical records by researching and recording a variety of current scientific data. iCivics features 5 games about constitutional law and the branches of the U.S. government, and Justice Sandra Day O'Connor collaborated on making it. CSI Web Adventures is a series of games that teach forensic science to middle school students. They actually identify fingerprints, test DNA samples, and interview potential suspects. Minecraft and Portal are different. They were actually created for use for entertainment to the masses. But eventually, they are such creative games that teachers started realizing that these would work very well in the classroom. So each of them went about making new websites specifically for teachers. Minecraft made a website called Minecraft EDU that helps teachers tailor Minecraft for their curriculum. If you don't know what Minecraft is, it's a creativity and building and construction, textured 3D cubes, a 3D world, and it's mostly a wide-open game that you could do almost anything in. Portal is primarily a series of puzzles that must be solved by teleporting the player's character and simple objects using the handheld Portal device. Portal created Teach with Portals, where if teachers sign up for the education beta, they get access to Portal 2, the Portal 2 Puzzle Maker, and a teacher-created collection of puzzles for as many students as they'd like for free. Okay, these are websites that are highly recommended. The first 4 are websites that just constantly have different articles and everything you would need if you're going to use video games in your classroom. The last 2, Mark Prensky and James Paul Gee, are 2 of the top experts in this field. I highly recommend not only their websites, but I also recommend their books. They both have written multiple books on the subject. I'll just leave it another second in case anybody wants to get down the URLs. And if you miss anything, I will be putting this on my website besides it being online, and you could email me also at jwag57@gmail.com. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. My ebook can be found on the Kindle store and Amazon, and if there are any teachers that want it, email me. Again, it's jwag57@gmail.com, and I will get it to you for free. I mean, it sells very cheaply, but for any educators, I will give it to you for free. I also hope that you visit my blog, Connect with Your Teens Through Pop Culture and Technology, at connectwithyourteens.net, and also follow me on Twitter at genwag57. And I see I ran, every time I practiced this, it took me 9.5 minutes, and now I see I have a lot of time left over, so if anybody has any questions, I know you already heard somebody else speak about this topic, but I'd be happy to answer. Okay, I see someone over there. Yeah, oh, yes. What? But, right. And also, I'm at that same conference I was there, and the education part of it, James Paul Gee, who I said is one of the masters of it, talked about creating, he called them big games. And these were the games that work best. And he talked about all the things you need in them to make a game that is both educational and students love. So you're right, not every educational game. I mean, if there's a game that's, where they just, teach you 2 + 2 and 4 + 4, and it's just rote learning, that's not any more fun after about the 20 minutes wears off than other video games. But if video games are created correctly, I mean, and as I said, a lot of these multiplayer games that people play on the internet and can spend hours, World of Warcraft works great in education because of all the different skills that they need, the decision making and all that. So it really is having the right games, and that is something that is beyond me because I am not a creator of games, but that the Games for Learning and a lot of other conferences do discuss how to make the best games for education, and being fun is a big part of that. Okay, well, thank you very much, and thank you for all staying here this long.